Hello everyone. I think that most of us would agree that learning pronunciation or phonology is the most difficult aspect of learning a new language. But I still think that we can acquire a very good degree if we give it enough time and follow a good strategy. So in this video I want to discuss three questions. The first is, why is it hard to learn pronunciation in a foreign language? Two, what happens when we try to speak or first understand and speak a foreign language? And the last is, what is a good strategy to follow? So, why is it so hard to learn pronunciation in a foreign language? One of the most common reasons is that the plasticity of the brain decreases by the time we grow older, and I think that by the time we are 10 or 12 it's really hard to have a native accent in another language. But the other question that I want to really focus on is that we already know a language, and linguists call this phenomena transfer. And this means that we transfer features from our own mother tongue to the new language, and so we'll see later how this hinders our ability to learn pronunciation. What happens when we try to understand and speak a foreign language? And here I'm talking about the very early stage. I'd like to explain this through two allegories. First, let's imagine that I'm learning a new language, and I know a few words, and I'm listening to something or watching TV. I will not get any word, not a single word of what is being said. And we can imagine this as a picture that is very hazy, that we don't even know what is represented in the picture. It's like for our ears, it's like a mishmash of sounds that we can't even tell what is a word and what is a sentence. It's like a big string of noises or sounds. And the other thing is, when we try to speak, we speak pretty much like in the same manner we speak our own language, and sometimes we would keep repeating the same word over and over, and any speaker might be talking to us, correcting us, and for us it sounds like we get it right properly, but for the other person keeps saying no, it's this way, and we don't even know the distinction between the way we say it and the way they say it. And the explanation for this is, let's imagine that there is a slot for each sound in our own language, and we use these slots to speak and to interpret what we hear in our language. And the transfer, what I referred to earlier, is that we use the same sounds of our own language to both produce and interpret the new language. And that's why we cannot even distinguish between our language or the sounds of our language and the new language. And also when we try to speak, we pretty much sound like we speak our language. Now I'd like to tell you the strategy in two parts that correspond to the two allegories I just referred to. The first is the problem of hearing a mishmash of sounds that we cannot even understand the word. And I think that if we expose our brain to as much as we can of the spoken language. So whatever you like, movies, songs, audiobooks, if you like, anything. And we don't even have to focus or listen attentively when we hear the spoken material. And the function of this is to get your brain trained and accustomed to these new sounds. What happens when we expose ourselves to many hours of the spoken language is that the picture, the imaginary picture that was so hazy, gets clearer and clearer. So maybe you will not be able to produce the sounds of the language accurately, but at least we can tell what is a word and what is a sentence. Of course we can maybe understand more words, and even we can know that this is a word, and we can say it even when we don't really understand what this word means. Of course, this is not all, it's not enough, so we should be working on the second part of the strategy, which is pick one sound at a time and work on it. So just one sound, pick one sound, and keep practicing the sound. You can compare between this sound and the closest equivalent to this sound in your mother tongue, because you probably, what you do is that you replace the sound of the new language to the closest sound in your mother tongue. So don't get tired of it, just keep going. Practice this sound. You can look at a diagram of how the sound is produced, the diagram that shows your lips, your teeth, tongue, everything. And you can record yourself. Just keep practicing the sound. It helps to, you can correct yourself whenever you say it wrong. Just focus on one sound at a time, and don't start learning or working on a new sound while you're not done with this one yet. So I think that's it, just working through sound by sound and building up. After a while you cover all sounds, your pronunciation is radically different. It takes time, and I think it's worth it, because it's you feel good after you do this. Thank you very much. Please forgive me for any language mistakes. English is not really my language. And if you like the video, please subscribe and share for more videos to come. Thank you.